Octoling Experiment Story, Chapter 4 Retrieval. We go to Zach, Gear, and Sarah, who are currently on the road, and of course, Green Kenobi stayed behind to help their escape. They know nothing of what he did to delay Tracker and the red-haired Octoling. I hope Green Kenobi's alright. Hey, don't worry. From what I heard, he was the best thief or something around here? Actually, he was a very skilled person. He did a lot of odd jobs. He was pretty much like a paid, hired hand to take stuff. He was actually a helper and a very close friend to Captain Inkwell, the person that's sending people to pick us up. Wait, Captain Inkwell's coming to pick us up? Not himself, but like one of his men. Oh. But how does he know Captain Inkwell? I'm not entirely sure about that. I only know him because I went to report to him after you got caught, and I didn't want to be a part of this anymore. These experiments. The Octoling army's gone out of hand. They're mutating on their own people. I just can't stand it. They turned you into a sanitized Octoling, and they turned you into a cyborg. Yeah. Still getting used to this robotic arm, though. As she starts moving her arm. Well, don't worry. You should get used to it in time. But I'm kind of worried. You said you could only get 4 serums, right? Unfortunately so. That means he doesn't have long. The processor or the side effects may take control of him. Let's hope that's not the case. Maybe when he regroups with us, Captain Inkwell has a solution. Yes, hopefully he does. As they keep moving along the forest, but I do wonder, what was the Octo Doctor's primary curiosity of that certain experiment? He spent so much research on it. Well, I did some digging after you got captured. Apparently, it's not the Doctor's actual work. It was actually a project of some other Octoling experiment Doctor's work, known as the Psychopathic Octoling Doctor. He was trying to make a serum to make these creatures monsters. The Octo Doctor was just simply changing it to modify it in a better way to lessen the side effects. What the original type did was absolutely worse than the type that was injected to Green Kenobi. So you're saying the only reason he survived is because they didn't use the full intoxicated version of the original? That's what I'm thinking. And the fact he was even survived the dwindled down version was impressive, as no one else had survived, really. I admit that was impressive. Maybe it has something to do with his DNA? I did know him a while. Yeah, that's right, you knew Green Kenobi, didn't you? Yes, I had met him a while back. I didn't know you two had history. Well, we knew each other's families before he was on the street and all that. His parents were actually high officers in the Octoling army. Really? Yeah, but suddenly they just disappeared. Green Kenobi vanished shortly after. I wonder what happened. Maybe the Octoling army did something, or they were disobeying orders. Maybe they were terminated. I doubt a family like you're suggesting, if they're close to your family, they probably wouldn't have been terminated like that. You're right. They only just vanished, so I'm guessing something else happened. Possibly. But we cannot blame this on a coincidence. Let's prepare. We should be reaching the evac point I was given. As he pulls out a map. Where to? As Gear just comes and grabs the map. You have this turned sideways. As she fixes it, this way. As they keep following along the road. Well, thank you. No problem. After all, we need to get to that evac point as quickly as possible. Yeah, I really wish Green Kenobi could be here, though. To be honest, we'd probably been caught up by now if it wasn't for him. You're right. The chances of us being caught by now, if he didn't stay behind, would have been increased to over 80%. What's the current chance of us being caught right now? Thanks to him staying behind, 40%. We got 60% chance of not being captured. That's better than anything. Guess Green Kenobi is looking out for us. But in case they are still chasing Green Kenobi, and he's taking them in a different direction, that lowers the numbers even more, which increases our chances of escape. What are you saying? Green Kenobi is being the decoy? That is what I think his plan was. Wait, Green Kenobi is diverting the Octoling Army's force? Yes. And the chances of them most likely going after him than us are greater, since he holds the intel of the creature the Octodoctor is looking for. Fair point. But what's the chances? 90% of us getting away. He really planned this out, didn't he? As Zack hits a tree with his fist. He planned to just take them all and follow him while we got away from the start. Even though I gave him opportunity to escape. What's the chance of him escaping from the Octoling Army right now? I cannot calculate. I do not know his situation or how far they are on his tail. So I cannot calculate the numbers. Let's just hope he gets away in time. Yes, that's the only thing we can do. Anyway, I think the evac point is right up there, as she points. As they see a field. Is that a field? As then they see a helicopter flying in. As Alice, I believe. Yes. Alice, I believe. Yes. Hops out of the helicopter. As she sees them down the road. As she waves. Oh, it's Alice. As Gear runs over. Alice, it's been a while. Yes. It's been a while, Gear. What happened to you? I got caught. They, kinda did some modifications onto my body. These two your friends? Yes, this is Zack, and this is Sarah, another person that was experimented. Okay, where's Green Kenobi? We were told to pick him up, too. He's not with us. He stayed behind to distract them. Captain Inkwell's not gonna like this. Anyway, let's get on board. We'll need to head to headquarters. Wait, can you give us a report on how Green Kenobi's doing? Do you know where he is? No. Currently, none of our forces have been deployed out any further. We're the only team that was sent out secretly to pick up y'all. We have no means of monitoring or knowing the whereabouts of Green Kenobi at this time. We're currently too busy dealing with an attack by the Octo Army on one of our main sides, so most of our forces have been diverted over there for the time being. Well, I guess we'll have to come back for him, eventually. Well, it has to be within the month. The serums won't last him long. You're right. What serums? He was injected with Serum X. Serum X? What is that? A serum that was meant to boost soldiers, but no one had survived the process. Oh, a very deadly serum. Wait, is that the serum that Green Kenobi had researched about? Wait, Green Kenobi had researched this? Yes, actually. He had said he told Captain Inkwell about a certain serum. He said that he didn't know much about it. He had only heard details he had gotten from documents he had found. Wait, why was he feigning ignorance if he already knew the side effects? As now Gear, Sarah, and Zack are now all confused. Green Kenobi knew about Serum X from the beginning? How? This raises more questions. Well, he'll have to answer this when he gets back. Don't worry, we'll have a team searching for him. First thing when we get back. You need to find him before the Sanitized Army does. Or the Octoling Army does. Of course. I'll send a team myself. Alright, let's go. As they all hop on board and start flying back, we go to Green Kenobi, who's in the forest. Currently has the one syringe of Serum X in his pocket. I gotta go. Gotta get out of here, as far away from here as possible. He's trying to make a quick getaway. Why do they have to be so good at their job? As a few Octoling soldiers are behind him. He quickly evades and goes to hiding in some bushes. If Tracker was with them, they would have a much easier time. As some of the soldiers passing by, as one of them goes over to the bush where he's hiding at, Green Kenobi quickly gets out and holds the Octoling soldier and knocking him out from lack of oxygen. He set his unconscious body in a bush and covering up with leaves so they won't find him so quickly. Then he starts moving even more towards an abandoned area. Green Kenobi suddenly trips and falls into a little river. He looks behind him and he sees an open sewer valve, or sewer entrance. Well, I guess that's gonna have to do. I've got no time. He quickly goes into the sewer entrance. I'm gonna have to say as far as way. I really hope they don't catch up with me so quickly. I hope the others got out. As he just runs into the sewer pipes, we go to Tracker and his companion. Yes, you're awake. What is it? We are so close to finding Green Kenobi. He's in this direction. What? Yes. I had finally caught on to his footprints. He's currently heading to this area somewhere in this direction. As they had recovered from the injuries and all that sustained from the explosion, the fire. Although he's going to pay for setting off that explosion that took out quite a few soldiers and even rendered you unconscious. What? All because a tree fell on me? Honestly, a tree whacked you on the head. How are you still alive? I don't know. That doesn't matter. Let's keep going. As they're moving towards another they're moving towards the same direction as Green Kenobi was. They come across some trees. Fresh footprints. He's around here somewhere. As he then moves towards a bush, and then quickly unveils the leaves to find one of his soldiers. It's one of our men. He checks his pulse. He's alive. Get a team over here to pick him up, as one of the soldiers with him says, "Yes, sir." As then he leaves. Such a pain to deal with. So many nooses and so many problems. He's slippery, I'll give him that. He did evade the Octoling Army for a long time. That's true. We now know he's part of that family that escaped. Well, at least he did. The whereabouts of his parents are still unknown to us. That's true. Well, anyway. We need to bring him back alive. Orders from the top. Seriously? Yeah. Apparently, some of the higher-ups want him back alive, saying he knows valuable intel. Valuable, you say? How valuable are we talking about? I don't know, but the Octo Doctor and higher command officers are very interested in his knowledge. Apparently, he's not just your typical thug, person that was just stealing for information. He knew what he was doing. It's like he had a feeling or instinct. Instinct? Yeah. The man wouldn't have survived this long without evading arrest for a while. So he knew what he was doing. Well, anyway, let's just go take him out. Let's bring him in. As they continue following the tracks until they arrive around the sewer area where they end. As they're at above, looking, his traps end here. As they're looking around the area, hey, there's a sewer system over here. As Shark comes over, these are his footprints in the mud. He went into the sewers. We're gonna have to go in after him. Seriously? We're gonna have to go in the sewers? What? We need to go in there and retrieve him. We need him alive. The doctor's not taking him any other way. Or the higher-ups. He's too much valuable intel to let him roam free. Are you sure, sir? We could easily just bring him back to base. The thing is, he's been injected with Serum X. He'll most likely have more powerful strength. It increases the user's strength, speed, agility, and senses. Although the side effects come with a great cost. Let's hope he's weakened by the side effects and we can just easily just grab him and go. You're right. After all, the side effects I hear are very painful. Right. If he doesn't get another injection, he's going to be in deep trouble. Well, let's move out. As a few more Octoling soldiers had approached behind them. You ready, men? Yes, sir. Then let's move in. As they move in. As Green Kenobi, who has been running for quite a while, sits down. Why? As his head starts to hurt. As like an image comes in with a person with a syringe. Now, sir. You need this injection for your own safety. As then it just disappears. Who was that? That was not the Octo Doctor. Who was that man? Why is he having images of some strange doctor with a syringe? Sir. As he hears voices of people saying sir, command, and other things. But he's not hearing them through the tunnels. He's hearing them in his head. What are these things I'm hearing? The side effects shouldn't be affecting this fast. As he quickly grabs the syringe of the serum. As he stops. No, it's not that. My mind is trying to trick me. To use the last serum. That's what the side effects want. Trying to manipulate my mind to use it. So the side effects can take control. I must not falter. As he puts it away. I must use it only in the time I need. I have to deal with this problem myself for the meantime. But why am I so drained? I injected myself with one earlier. A few hours ago. As he looks up at the entrance above, or the exit above, I guess things are way different now than they once were. As he closes his eyes and imagines his family. Green Kenobi, you must go. What is it? Listen, the Octoling army is not what they once used to be. You need to go. We have a friend that'll take care of you. As they have Green Kenobi go through a secret passage to exit wherever they had lived. Yes, I was going through an exit. And I met up with a man in a lab coat. And then everything just blank for me from there. Whatever did happen to my parents, I don't know. barely remember anything else after that incident. Everything after the doctor, everything in between the time of the doctor and all that, I don't remember. What could have happened? I was told he was a friend of my parents. He gets up. I burst to keep moving. I can't let them catch me. As he starts moving deeper into the cave, into the sewer system. Ugh. Yeesh. It's so dirty and filthy down here. What do you expect? It's a sewer. Yeah, but this thing hasn't been used in years. How is it so disgusting? Stuff stays, and it rots when it gets old. So of course it's gonna stink. We gotta get through here, though. It's our only clue to where Green Kenobi is. Fine. What about the soldiers? They're currently thawing out and searching the sewers from other directions. We should find him. Shouldn't be much longer. You're right. Well, anyway, I wonder sometimes, what's the doctor's actual motive? Huh? The Octo Doctor. What's his actual motive? Who knows? All I heard is that the commander hired him because of his special experimental skills. That and his knowledge of science. Yeah, but him mutating on other Octolings, don't you think it's a little bit wrong? I don't see the problem in it. He's treating the traitors, but they're still Octolings like us. That may be true, but they betray the Octo Army. They deserve what they got to them. I don't know. Some of this seems a bit fishy. You'd go in against the commands of the commander? Of course not. I was just thinking some stupid stuff. Then let's go. It apparently seems that the other Octoling with a tracker has heard doubts on the Octoling army. Maybe she's starting to realize all the corrupt and evil they're doing. Or maybe she doesn't like the experiments, like Zack didn't like the experiments. Who knows? As then we go to Green Kenobi, who had just found an exit. Ugh. I managed to find the exit, finally. Oh, I'm so glad I managed to find the exit. Where am I? He starts looking around. Oh, right. This is the place of the old abandoned city. What was the history behind this place again? Oh, that's right. As he pulls out his phone, or he pulls out an object from his pocket. It seems to be some sort of phone device. This is not gonna work. Because of course they did something to it. This may be how they're tracking me. He destroys it. I wish I could have at least researched it up, but it's too risky to use that thing now. They could track my position with it. I guess time will only tell if things are gonna get better for me. But I wonder, how long am I gonna survive without any more of those serums? If they're saying it's true, the side effects will eventually succumb to it. Don't think of that, Green Kenobi. I've got much better things to think of. And that's the moving on and survival. They're on to me. I'll have to navigate my way through this destroyed and abandoned city. I may set up a few traps for them. That's what I'll do. I'll set up a few traps. They're not gonna get me. After all, I don't plan on dying or succumbing to this experiment of theirs. Should I have told them I knew more about Serum X than I was letting on? But how did I know so much about Serum X in the first place? He's still trying to think back on the time he was left with his friend of his parents. I just can't remember. Anyway, I better get moving before they find me. As he moves into an alleyway and starts going further down, we go to the control room with Captain Inkwell, Alice, Sarah, Zach, and Gear, who have all gathered. I see all you have arrived. Where's Green Kenobi? Green Kenobi was not with them, sir. What? Apparently he got separated, allowing them to escape. We must send a team out for him at once. I've already assigned a task force to go look for him. Good. I assume you're Zach and you're Sarah? Yes. I remember talking to you a little while back. Yes. Ah, Gear, what have they done to you? They caught me. And of course, they also did their experiments. Just letting you know, we're going to try to enlist you into the civilian life, with the other Octolings and Inklings within the towns. Thank you, but we need to go find Green Kenobi first. You don't have to worry about that. I'll have a team go look for them straight away. He'll be back probably by the end of the week. And if he gets captured again, I'll make a rescue force to try to free him. Thank you. I hope this lifts up your concerns. Green Kenobi is a friend of mine, and Green Kenobi's friends are a friend of mine as well. How do you know Green Kenobi? Oh, you don't know this, but before I became commander of the defense force here against the Octoling army, my father, who was the previous head command force, knew his family, and they were the only reason we had relations between the Octoling army. I'm guessing that's why his family just vanished. Wait, Green Kenobi's family had connections with the Inkling side? Yes. In fact, the whole reason we didn't just go out in full conflict for several years was because of his family keeping a relationship between the Octoling army and the Inklings. Of course, every year it became harder and harder as people were pushing towards war and battle. Until when they finally just vanished, there was nothing to stop, and the Octoling army made their moves. What happened to his parents? What happened to them? I do not know. They just simply vanished, not leaving a trace. Green Kenobi shortly vanished there later, before resurfacing near one of my father's bases. I met him a while back, and we became pretty good friends. I remember we sat over and had a cup of tea together. Honestly, he does have some interesting stories. After all, he said his family knew the person that made Serum X. Wait, what? Yes, although he could never remember his name. Wait, he knew the person that made Serum X? His parents did, at least. That's what he told me. He said he doesn't know anything else, or that's what he said. How much did he know? Did he know he was going to survive the serum when injected? Who knows? Only the people with the knowledge of such things have a plan to probably contain. Maybe he had a countermeasure between Serum X and his DNA. Maybe he had done some research and tried to make a countermeasure towards it. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, thank you. Well, y'all get some rest. Y'all had a long journey. Y'all escaped. And escaping from the Octoling army is not easy. You're right. Anyway, y'all take a rest. Me and my men will take it from here. Thank you. Captain Inkwell. And we'll have you into a town in a few days for y'all to settle in. I appreciate your help. Captain Inkwell. No problem. As they leave. Alice. Yes, sir? I need you to move and find any research you can on the Octoling Army's experiments, as well as find Green Kenobi's location. I'm sending more than one team on the search for this. But sir, Green Kenobi has vital intel, and if he's been injected with Serum X, that makes things even worse. Have 3 teams prepared to leave by morning. Right away, sir. As all of them had left the room, as Captain Inkwell looks at a screen. Things are not turning out good, are they, Green Kenobi? Things are turning out way worse than you had thought. With the Octoling Army now having their own experiments in the front line, the fight's only gotten harder. And that's where I end Chapter 4 of the Octoling Experiment story. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe.